Hello everybody, Wheatley Gaming here, and today I just wanted to talk about the news of how Rainbow Six Siege, or Ubisoft and Rainbow Six Siege plan, hopefully too, because I really love the game, on releasing up to 100 operators, like at most, before they actually end working on the game. And that sounds really cool and really exciting. I wonder if they're actually going to pull through and give over 100 operators, or 50 plus operators. Because that would be really cool. I really want to see what kind of operators they would implement into the game that could make or break it. I don't know much about it. I just know how it could take like 8 years of updating the game to get that amount of operators into it. That's if they update with the normal amount of operators that they usually give every year. Then that would take up to 8 years apparently. I don't know. I don't really do research on this, but what I did do research on is the game analytics, because yes, the game can release up to 100 operators, and that could be a very cool thing, but 8 years, people are gonna start dwindling from a game. But it seems really good so far with the Rainbow Six Siege community. Actually, looking at the chart, it actually seems like it's grown way more than it actually did at the beginning of when it was actually released. Meaning that more people are playing it now than when it was released. So it's actually doing very well compared to other games that came out during 2015. So Rainbow Six Siege released on December 2015. And the average players that came on December 2015 were only 7,000, 7,900 rounded, I guess like 8,000. And the peak amount of players that month was 18,000. And this average player count never dropped. It never really dropped. It just kept rising and rising, really up until February. February, it hit 30,000 players. And that's a really good amount of players, and its peak players for that month of February was 65,000, which is really good. And after February, it just started going down again, though. And I think it started going down because of Operation Health. I don't really understand why Operation Health was so bad, because honestly, Operation Health was kind of the time period where I literally did not play any Siege. I uninstalled the game for quite some time. And when I reinstalled the game, Operation Health was basically almost over within the next 5 days, so it didn't really matter. I didn't really see any of the bugs or anything that were happening, but Operation Health had to, I'm pretty sure, release like June. And so it went from 30,000 to 24,000 just between February and June. But then it started going up again. And when they announced Operation Blood Orchid, that's when it started reaching more players, even more players than February 30,000. In August, it made 33, and September 36,000. And within the last 30 days, there's been an average of 34,000 players online, with a peak of 66. The max amount of players on this game that have been recorded, I guess, there's 73,000, and that was in August when Blood Orchid was announced, before it came out September 5th. That was the peak, and that's good. Now, compared to other popular game franchises that came out 2015, Black Ops 3, I'm going to use that one because the Call of Duty franchise is very successful, is the opposite. It started off great, I guess, 24,000 average players with a peak of 63,000 November when it came out. But then it literally just went straight down, and yeah, just by March it only had 11,000 average players on. And of course by the next November, when the next game comes out, there's not going to be anyone on, so that was only 3,000 players. And within the last 30 days, there's only been about 2,000 average players. And of course, yeah, came out within around the same time period, Black Ops 3 and Rainbow Six Siege, within a month separation period. So It's a really weird way to compare them. And I take this into perspective only because I don't think you can really just release 100 operators. Like, you need to offer more than that. And I'm sure they will. I'm not saying they won't, but I just hope they do. Like, of course, more maps that come with them, more DLC, I guess, different things besides just the characters, because I don't know how big the player base is going to be within the next 2 years, let alone the next 8 years, if people are still going to be playing this game or worrying about this game and how many operators that it has released. I don't know if people will care as much, because I think the game developers really need to put more effort into it if they want people to stick with it for that long. You can't just release 2 new operators every year, even 3 like Ella and everything. 2 operators a year, but then that's it. Just the 2 operators. Of course, with Blood Orchid, they also had the map, the carnival map, which is good. But of course, if you're gonna last that long, I think you need to add a lot more to the table to maybe help people stick with it, because if there's just a new character, that's not gonna make that big of a difference. I guess people could play it, they get bored of it again, then they stop. Need to add more maps, maybe more weapons, weapon skins, player skins, different things for the occasion, just to keep people coming. And I would really like to see what they do next, but that's just what I think on the whole thing. I just think that more stuff should be added along with them. I bet they will. I really bet they will, and I hope they do add more stuff with it, not just add the bunch of operators blindly. And I really want to see what they add next. It's a really good game, has a really good fan base and player base. That was just my opinion on the matter. That's it. I guess if you want to see anything more like this, you can like it, whatever you want. But I will be making another video soon. But, you know, I have school and stuff, so I can't really focus on videos anymore that much because of school. So, but that's it for this episode of Wheatley Gaming. Wheatley Gaming out. Peace.